The world we once knew has been lost to shadow. Was it sundered in fire and brimstone? Drowned in flood and rain? Was it tragic decadence? A great fall? Unspeakable corruption? Or did the awakening of magic destroy our world? No one knows for certain. Reach through the shadowy mists. Find a fragment of land infested with shadowy corruption, yet lit enough to find your way. Find a creature of light, a sylph. They are friendly and willing to guide you. Perhaps the two of you can find other survivors. Perhaps this land can serve as a shelter. Perhaps together you can build a sort of haven. Forge friendships to save the world.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Unleashed Games weekly playtest, where you join me, Irena, CEO of Unleashed Games, as we playtest the prototype of our game Haven, which you just saw our prototype trailer for. Prototype, we like the word. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new here, we do this every week, rain or shine. We are a indie team building what we think is the next greatest game. And we're former developers of World of Warcraft and Kingdoms of Amalur and EverQuest, wanting to make the greatest collaborative MMO style game that we can imagine, but bring it to you cross-platform. Yeah, I said it. We actually have a working build right now, playable on Mac, PC, with controller support, though kind of shaky. And also we can play it on our phones. So if you have to run into me anywhere and want to check out what it's like to play Haven on the phone, please let me know. But what we like to do is we like to build and play. This is part of our regular cadence. And I just decided to make a decision with our business to play in front of a live studio audience. So you never know what kind of hijinks are going to ensue when you join the Unleashed live stream. We love to see our friends here who are some of our repeat friends who keep supporting us the whole way. We have Scourge and Tozeb, and I see Paul Sawaya here on the stream, creator of Elsewhere. Hello, Paul. Thank you for joining us. We love you. He's also got a really cool game. We've actually featured it on our stream. He's played Haven before. But if you ever want to play Haven and, either come on the stream or find out opportunities, get in on our friends and family alpha, we have a really cool website where you can kind of learn all about Haven down here. Sign up for our alpha, haven.unleashedgames.com. And you will sign up for our mailing list and we'll notify you every time that we go live. And we'll also give you any sort of development updates. But the thing that's coming soon, and there are hashtag reasons why we haven't opened it up yet, but we're going to be opening up a Discord for all of our fellow Haven fans out there that want to play the game. And that'll be a great way to be able to get access to builds and play in these weekly playtests, because as we build the infrastructure, more and more people will be able to join. That's one of our gating factors in doing all of this. And also, if you're feeling really plucky and you want to be able to help us out, we have a Patreon, friends. We opened this up recently, but if for a small contribution, you can help us continue to build this game and make it better and better by signing up for our Patreon. And you can, support us at like as low as a $5 level, something really small, less than a latte. So if you like family-friendly cooperative RPGs where you can go on procedurally generated adventures and dungeon runs with your family and friends, please consider supporting us. And also do the whole like subscription thing, like our channels, and share these videos with your friends, because your word of mouth matters in a giant sea of really big fish with deep pockets. And we are just a lonely little minnow trying to survive and mixing metaphors into the little engine that could. So one of the things I also do during this stream is I give little company updates. So yeah, this is the shameless plugs. We'll turn that off now. One of the things we also do is I give a little company update on things that have been going on. And the most recent tragedy that I've shared is that we did not win the goat selfie competition. We do actually serious game dev here, but also we deeply invest in competitions around selfies with goats, because goats, obviously. But the talk that I gave that had a really positive reception at the Live Service Game Summit in Austin, Texas, that actually got the interest of Dean Takahashi and GamesBeat. So I was just recently added to a panel at GamesBeat Summit in Los Angeles to speak with Kayla Komali and Neil Young, the former GM of, Ultima Online. Like, what? And we're going to be talking about practical uses of AI and thinking about how AI, we can shift the narrative around AI to be more hopeful and optimistic, and driving, instead of like this doomsday, oh, it's going to steal all of our jobs, to AI is the beginning of a renaissance in games. And we actually firmly believe this in-house. We are deeply committed to finding ways to ethically incorporate AI into game development so that it acts as a force multiplier for the developers and the creative minds behind your favorite titles. But also, finding ways to do it more ethically, where we're sourcing and attributing creations to their original creators and giving them royalty payments for anything that is used in a commercial space, finding ways to really highlight the creators that contribute to any sort of AI execution, rather than glossing over them and claiming them as our own. The industry needs kind of a shift in perspective around this, I think. Sound off in the chat if you have any thoughts around this. I see some love from Paul, whose game also features a lot of really great procedural gameplay, because I don't know if you all know this, but procedural technology, which we've had for 30 years in games, that is AI. It always has been. There's logic behind it, and it stitches together objects with rationale and rule sets very similarly to the way that AI functions. But that's something that we've had a debate around in games as to whether or not procedural is AI, and is AI procedural, and if it's not, should it be? These are the questions that we consider. So yeah, I'll be in Los Angeles next week at the GamesBeat Summit. And if you are potentially interested in talking about helping bring Haven to life and publishing and giving us money to continue developing, I would love to talk to you. So I do have a bunch of meetings set up, and I can't wait to talk about AI with these incredible human beings, and also to find a more hopeful view on how we shift the narrative in games to get back doing what we do best, which is make awesome games. Speaking of awesome games, there's somebody that we had early on in the development of Haven that I met at the GDC, where we kind of kicked off our entire development, our first fundraise. This was GDC of 2023. And we met outside of a karaoke bar. Yep. But this is the joy of GDC, is you meet really interesting people. And when we first encountered them, it was the entire Unleashed team with like Dave Cham, Brian Birmingham, Chris Zierhut, Tom Ang, Jason Hutchins. We were stumbling out of the karaoke room that we had rented, and we met a man who introduced himself as Thor, Odin's son. And though he wasn't carrying Mjolnir, I was like, I heard the Icelandic accent, and I have an unreasonable appreciation and obsession with Iceland and Icelandic culture ever since going there. If you haven't been, please go. But the more we ended up talking, the more we connected around mythology and game development. And he was working with a team building an incredible and funny as hell game. I would love to introduce my now great friend, who I can't wait to actually get back to Reykjavik and visit, Mr. Thor Odinsson. Hello, sir.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
Listen to his accent. It's the best.
I can speak strange like Björk. Is that what you're going for?
Oh, if you want to flex on the Icelandic muscle, I will never complain. Especially if you're telling cool like Nordic myths and Viking stories.
I'm a big fan of Nordic and Icelandic Gaelic history. Saxon. It's all entwined in some weird way. But yeah, if anyone wants to geek out on those subjects, you can try to find me somewhere on the internet.
Yeah, we'll share your LinkedIn profile in the chat, and we already have a comment that from Tozeb, who is in Sweden, and he has Dottie Fryer's All About Things, or what is the Eurovision title? Oh my goodness, because I can sing it in my head, but I can't remember the title of the song. For help. Think about things.
I cannot help
Think
you on
about
that.
things with the sweet Icelandic dance moves. If you have not seen Think About Things by Dottie Fryer, this is not going to work well because I'm posting it in chat. We can see it. It's not. I don't have the Icelandic symbols, but if you search for this in YouTube, it will come up. Is it Dottie with I? See, that's what I.
Yeah, it's a regular eye.
Failed already. Here I am, so ethnocentric and North American focused that I don't know how to spell with I's properly. Please forgive me.
But there is an R in Freyr.
There is. There, see, like third time's the charm. Freyr.
Yeah.
There. See, I got there. But let's talk about games, though. And I think that the audience deserves to know a little bit more about you, Thor. Would you kind of share with us like your context and like you take it as far back as you want, because they need to know how cool you are.
Okay. So I'm 4.
4 years old.
It's 1983, and my father and his brother, they buy a Sinclair Spectrum computer, which is sat in front of the old tube television on the rug at my grandparents' house. And my first experience with games was writing load jetpack, and then proceeding to wait for 15 minutes while cassettes go. Good times. I tried to teach myself ST Basic, I think when I was 13. I wanted to make pixel games on the Atari ST. And then I got into art. Not that isn't art, but I got into classical art. Graduated as a classic artist. I proceeded to learn graphic design, proceeding to the to the turn of the century and graduated just as the internet bubble was exploding. So I wound up teaching art for a few years. And then I had been working in theater and films, making sets and props since I was a teenager as well. And so I got more and more involved with that. And I kind of migrated towards production design, art direction, which are creative roles, but they're also team building roles and management roles. There's a lot of delegation hierarchy in the film business. And after doing that for several years, running my own company and successfully running large projects as a
Do you have
contractor,
any
I was
examples
encouraged to go and get an M.
of those kinds of projects?
Sure. I I have art production, art direction credits on some music videos for Björk. I was the property master for the second unit of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. On Aronofsky's Noah, I was the international liaison for props and set transportation, which meant that I had to do the custom carnets for 17 containers of antique props coming from New York to Iceland. The bank galas, parties for big Icelandic companies, gaming companies, music festivals, that type of stuff.
Cool. It's so cool. And then you ended up in games, and that's where we really bonded at first, was around like leading teams and the way that we think about team dynamics and culture, and how it's a little bit backwards from the way the games are typically run.
Yeah, I think I got really interested in. I didn't know this before going into it. I was surprised when I was doing my MBA studies how interested I became in the data science of human resource management and positive psychology, and there's a lot of good work that's been done by Gallup and other groups over the years trying to figure out how to increase productivity and maximize output. You know, money always wants to spend less money and do better faster, right? But I became really interested in the data behind productivity and wound up speaking a lot about the merits of positive management. And when I say positive management, I mean management that contributes to the psychological safety and lifting up people, providing them with clarity, providing them with the tools they need, with opportunities to grow into what their ambition calls for. And it turns out that people who feel good, feel safe, feel optimistic, feel empowered, and ambitious. Weirdly, it turns out that those people are more productive. So it turns out that from a managerial standpoint, it's actually very good business sense to just be good to people. I mean, obviously, not to the point where you take away people's
ownership.
Ownership and accountability, but yeah. So that's something I became very interested in, and
one of your my favorite things you've ever shown me was your talk, which was the return on investment on not being an asshole, which I am completely aligned around. That I think actually being an asshole costs the game industry a lot more money than we give it credit for. And like you said, teams who feel empowered and have agency and who feel like that they can talk to their talk all the way through the different levels of the business are more productive. They're happier. They, make better products in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do, right? I mean, if you want to make a labor of love, I mean, we see these games like Hades and Valheim, these kind of Sputnik indie games that kind of outshine everything that's happening in AAA, and everyone is, so surprised. I think they all have in common that they are a labor of love. Someone is articulating their dream, and at the same time seems to be able to get a team, whether it's a small team, it was 6 people that made Valheim, or a studio, I don't know how many are at Supergiant, but to articulate the I have a dream in a way that now we have a dream, and to facilitate the production through collaboration, right? I mean, yeah, sure, you can make a computer game by yourself, but
I mean, and people have.
It's going to take you a really, really long time.
And also, people have made games where like they were by themselves dictating the definition of that game and making a team of like 300 people build what they wanted specifically. These models have worked sometimes for sure, but I feel like there's such a value in considering the human through any of these processes. And I had my own experience, and this is how, like, what really connected us is I have been trying to build, a bottoms up style team in games for a while after having done so. Had participated in a team like that for the United States Air Force, and trying to find a way to manifest that within the context of a game team. And then to hear that, Thor was running a team exactly that way, it made me finally believe it, like that it is possible, and that the downstream effects that we're talking about, this positivity, this empowerment, this like increased creativity and productivity, actually affects the bottom line. Like, and so there's such a giant benefit that one of my, like, that's not a primary, a litmus test for companies as they get funded, like, because the value of just having a positive work environment, like, we all know what that's like.
I think it's complicated, right? And there's no one answer to it, and I think it's problematic to overly simplify things, because usually the devil is in the details, and it's more complicated than that. But I think something I noticed when I was trying to fund games on a global, on the global scene, going to GDC, meeting with global investment funds, Icelandic investment funds. The majority of investors, and of course the funds themselves have rules, right? So you might have a fund that says, well, there has to be a technical niche. We're a technical fund, but we'll invest in a game if it has a technical niche. So that inadvertently creates pitch decks that speak to that problem, right? And so you start to see gaming pitches which are about technology, about backend connectivity, about inventory management, solving for problems, solutions looking for problems. But because money wants to go into technical innovation, that's a way to circumvent that. Or, I mean, at the end of the day, you'll meet, what does every investor dream of? Finding the new unicorn. So can you please explain to me how your project is going to be a 100x in 6 months? and so you get put into the position that you're selling the monetary systems, you're selling the low operational costs, you're selling how you're going to starve your team, how you're going to starve yourself, how you're really hungry for this. And at the end of the day, no one who is investing in these, not no one, right? That's not true. Many funds and managers and project scouts in these half-hour coffee meetings at these really busy, game fairs like GDC, and which are awesome. But you have half an hour, you have 15 minutes. Give me the elevator pitch, and if the elevator pitch is, "I'm going to make a happy team," and
Yeah.
like that's
They don't
just so far
care
down
at
the
all.
line of topics. It just doesn't get to that, right?
And then people then end up sacrificing that aspect of their business as they push through, because the razors that the investment community puts forth as like things that are important help drive the market. They drive the economic activity. So that's why, we've just had a pushback for the last years around, we don't invest in content, teams like ours, right? And they do invest in things like picks and shovels. So you see lots of services and third-party developers and tool sets popping up in the marketplace, thinking that, that's going to drive the market forward. But the problem is that if you don't have games in front of actual players, you're not going to have anybody that needs the tool sets. Like, you basically cut from the needs, the market that is going to drive the market for your, SaaS business.
I think this is a similar thing that's happening in the film industry, which is also suffering, which is with the platforms, like with the streaming platforms, it becomes, there are less and less high budget projects happening, because the business model dictates that you need to have a certain number of new shows, or per month or per week, in order to retain the rent that people pay for the platform, and then the budget margin becomes how cheap can we produce this content. And the question stops being about how can we empower these artists, how can we let people choose content of quality. It's like, do you want to watch this cooking show or that cooking show, or how many versions of Is It Cake, or all of these really, really cheap programs that are the filler content.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
We have and I think there's the very intelligent business mind that wants to get things done faster, cheaper, better. We know you can't have all of those three things. It's a pyramid. You can have fast and cheap, but not quality, or you can have quality and fast, but it's not going to be cheap. It's one of those things where you can only have two out of three. If you're lucky, most of the time you can get one. But I think there is a failure in many circumstances. I think there is simply a failure of people wanting to do such a good deal that they wind up starving their investment and basically putting a wrench into their own gears, sadly, right? And it's, we've competed against each other for the attention of certain funds, and funny, when we met, we kept meeting each other when we were coming in and out of meetings with the same investment funds, and we were like, who are you? What are you doing? Why are you talking to everyone I'm talking
the
to?
competition.
But so we know, right? It's a dog and pony show, and you wind up like, you have a dream, you have a team, you have a project, you're there, and then someone is like, well, can you do it for half? And then they point, that other person I was talking to, they could do it for half in North Korea, and you're like, okay, how do I compete with that?
Yeah, you
Like,
can't compete with
how
slave
low,
labor.
how short do I sell myself and my team and my vision and my dream? Because at the end of it, like I put 3-4 years into this, or my friends or the team, or and like, we just need this to happen. So it's on both parties. It's like a really bad negotiation where both parties are, competing towards, basically frameworking themselves to a collaborative failure.
Yeah, it's a tough
It's
vibe out there. I mean, and you were part of our team early on, back when we we were at the tail end of our investment when you joined on, and you were helping us with our first time user experience and trying to get there. And we were going in to get funded at GDC 24, and it was just crickets. Where we had gotten lots of activity in 23, 24. It was just like I felt like I was walking through Eeyore's swamp. It was all very depressing, and there's no funding.
No, but we see this. I think with it's world economics today.
Oh my God, we can't even talk about the macroeconomic climate.
No.
Hey, games are a tariff-free commodity. So there's no physical good. So there's no tariff taxes on digital products. So we should be like a really exciting asset class right now with all the market uncertainty, don't you think?
I mean, I think it's a little bit. Yes, true, but I also think, out of the 100 people that come out of literary studies in a university, odds are none of them are going to write the next American great novel.
Or the next Icelandic great novel.
I mean, there's 4,000. Yeah, we everyone in Iceland writes great novels. We're the best. We are. No. I mean, it's the same here, right? I mean, I think it's really difficult. Like, how are you gonna? There's 4,000. How many games come out on Steam?
Oh goodness, we could just ballpark it at 5,000 a week. There's over 100,000 games on Steam, and the rate is only going up. So really, right now, the trick is a differentiator. What makes you special? What's your distribution hack? How are you going to get in front of players? And that's something that we've been, working hard to try to solve. But it's we have so many ideas on how to validate our market. But I just had a conversation today with another founder, how, though your idea may be great and concept art that you have and your world and lore that you're developing is really top notch and it's so cool and the world needs this right now, it's going to be dead in the water unless you have some sort of data within the market that validates that, the fact that players do in fact want it. So that's the challenge that's on us today, I think, for any game team. So if you're out there fundraising right now, my biggest recommendation is figure out how you're going to get to players and don't rely on Steam, because Steam is a very, very crowded category.
I mean, I think Arn Adams and Bay and Dwarf Fortress, right? I think in no would they have. I followed them from a very early start, right? About when Minecraft was first coming out, we were playing And if someone would have tasked me at that time, can you make a pitch deck for this game and take it to GDC and get funding? I would have just been like, are you joking, right? Like, no. Because it wasn't quantifiable, right? But at the same time, they had a website. I believe it was Tarn and his brother together, and they had a PayPal link in the top corner, and they were making money. They had a small community of people that they were making very happy, and then that community grew, and they were developing with the community, and it became this meme, right? It became its own thing. And when you're getting the fantastic upgrades you were asking for on the forums, and you're like, wow, these guys are working 24/7. It's amazing. It's free, and then it's like, I'll donate a little on PayPal, right? I'll send them some money, right? And turns out a lot of people were sending them money, and they were doing all right, and they circumvented the whole Steam and on all the platforms and everything. And I think talk to your audience, build your audience, find the people who you are going out to engage or entertain, or what is the interaction, right?
You mean like Trent
start
here?
doing that.
Trent is introducing himself. He's on Twitch. Hi, Trent. And
Hi, Trent.
thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this. I can't wait to get you in game with us at some point. But the other piece that is fun about today is that we are doing that right now, where this is the whole purpose of putting on this stream, is we get to build our audience. People come in and out. People join us like Trent. We've got Tozeb and Scourge here. We've got others that, like, our group has been growing, and I can't wait to actually continue to build and develop that the community. And I've kind of been a little bit gun shy about pulling the trigger, and maybe it's time to just like give up the ghost and just welcome everybody into the house, so that we can continue to grow it. Because that's actually something that Dave Cham recommended early on, was like, just put a donate button in the middle of the build and let people donate as much as they want, and as they test it out to see if they want to support seeing the game get better. And maybe that's the right way, because going through VCs and these gatekeepers that think that they know better as to what players want feels like it's an exercise in futility, and all it does is give us bruises on our foreheads, rather than actually moving us forward. So,
I mean, there's smart money too, right? I mean, even though we can dissect the big picture and identify these known fallacies we see all over the place, there's also parties out there that are very intelligent and understand all of this.
yes,
if you're listening,
yes, exactly.
talk to us.
But speaking of which, you haven't seen the game really since the beginning of 2024. And like, there was a period of time, I don't think I've even told you in on this, but there was a period of time where we made 0 changes. Like, when people left in May, the whole team had to leave because they needed to feed their families. They left in May of 2024 after GDC, and we tried to close some funding, but it didn't quite land. And we went probably until September, October, not making a single change, because we ended up having our server crash. The server was running the whole time, and we were just playing the same build over and over again until for about 3 weeks we couldn't play the build, and I didn't know how to make changes. And then we met our friend Scourge, and this is like the power of community. Scourge here, I love you to death, my friend, joined our team, and he's like, oh, I know what you're doing. Here, I can help you. And he pulled me into a meeting and taught me how to make new builds, taught me how to, update the server and launch it. I worked with Misha from Mirror, who is our backend networking system, to migrate us off of Amazon AWS and moved us over to Google Cloud. Google Cloud Startup Program actually gave us some engineers and taught us how to deploy it onto Google Cloud. And yes, Toza, for sure, Scourge is the real goat in all of this. And like Scourge has joined the team as a volunteer engineer, and he helps out when he can. Tozeb like said friend calling out Scourge. Tozeb, who is a Patreon supporter, and he's helping us make YouTube videos to help drive a Kickstarter. Like, this is the power of community. When you get to like people who like love what you're doing and come on board and want to kind of push it forward, like this fires me up, this team, and the folks that we've gathered around us. And now I cannot wait because Scourge unlocked our ability to make builds. Like, we've made changes. So I would love for you, as we play, please just like let our friends know like the difference and the improvements, or if it got worse, you know, that's completely fair. But like, hey, you wanna take down a giant werewolf monster? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
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 Here we are at character select. You got to make a new one though, my friend.
All right. I played around with a warrior before. I'll do make
sure,
another
all right.
one, right? Just
cool. That means I'm going to create a new character though. I'm not going to use my. We do have character persistence, which is more Thor. You're the best. Oh yes, you sure can. I'll make a mage, because I'm always a mage. No. Oh no, I logged into the wrong character. Damn it! We unfortunately can't hear your audio. But does this all look familiar to you?
yes. I did take it's actually like evening here in Iceland, and so I was at noon. I installed the build, and I did I cheated and I played for a few hours, and but I was able to play for a few hours, which I am very happy about.
Oh, that's cool. So you soloed.
And yeah, and there was content to keep me occupied, and there was actually the reason I had to stop wasn't because of lack of content. I could have probably gone for a few more hours to build everything and make everything that's at least visible to me in the tech tree right now. But there was a bug where I couldn't take anything out of my inventory, which meant that I was stuck with.
That is, I already actually passed that bug on to Chris. We recently reskinned the UI, and I think part of accidentally reskinning the backpacks is we accidentally got rid of our trash icon and the functionality there. So that happens. Welcome to game dev. 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
But that bug aside, I am feeling a lot of nostalgia from the old days of EverQuest and simpler times. I was happy that I was able to, I didn't need really a tutorial. I could figure out how to build a house, how to build a workbench. I could upgrade my armor. There's maybe some tactile. I think today everything is over explained to players. So I could open the character sheet and see how equipping different things changed my stats, how leveling up changed my stats, and all felt quite straightforward to me, and I can really imagine if the tech tree was expanded on, the or I don't know if tech tree is the right word, but the crafting tree, the
Yes,
unlocks.
that is the right word,
Um,
and I agree. Yeah, the building tech tree as well.
that howl is hilarious.
That is like one sound. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. I think I've made a grave mistake. Because Tozeb is a wizard and
What's that?
I'm a wizard. And how are we gonna we don't have a healer. Does anybody want to, like, in the
It's,
audience, want to join in? I could send you a link to the build if you're on LinkedIn. We need a healer for our group, friends. Who's down? Let me know. I'm legit serious right now because I don't like we actually were able to do 2 mages and a healer to take down Havelmot last week, which is oh no, Toza, don't change. I think it's actually more fun if we get somebody new in. Let's do this. We get some fresh meat into the build. Oh, Frank is on his way to save the day. Thank you, Frank. See, this is the kind of camaraderie we live for. You know, Haven group looking for healer.
that's perfect. That's perfect. I have learned this lesson in every MMO that I have ever played. That once I get to like level 10, I usually restart or make a new character that's a healer, and I find that my way to max level all of a sudden becomes a breeze, and I can then utilize my resources to re to level my other characters or my preferred class. But
So you're two boxing.
why I never remember to just make a healer, just be the healer, right? It's gonna make everything simpler.
You know what? And healers always make friends. I also like really enjoy the active healing as part of gameplay because it's a little bit more relaxed than having to like manage aggro.
It depends. I remember playing healers back in the day where you have like 40 people in a raid and juggling all of that, and it can get quite
It
hectic,
can in a
right?
raid contest
Then
for sure. Like it requires skill, and that's one of the things that I love about multi-class gameplay is that the different archetypes really appeal to different types of gamer profiles. You know, and you'd often find female players playing healers. Why? Like, I mean, it's usually unique per individual, but you know, sometimes it's less pressure or it's more pressure, or you know, I as a healer loved feeling like I was supportive of my group. You know, but then sometimes I wanted to be a warrior and like really step up and get smashed. Oh, we have a group.
well,
We need crystals though.
so we need crystals.
More Thor. If you have any, do you have any crystals?
I have a crystal, maybe
Do you have the yellow one?
a couple. Where let me see.
Yes, you do.
Yes,
You have the magic
yes,
final crystal.
yes. Okay, we've been
Yes.
busy.
Did you build this one before?
Yeah, yeah, and the arcane windmill, or
The arcane mill, yeah. Windmill mill. It is just very arcane, for sure. Yes. So this asset is actually built for us by one of our team members, Becky Coker. She was an environment artist on Palia, as well as Wildstar. She is absolutely incredible. We want to bring her in as an environment art director, but she has a family to feed, so we need to be able to have a salary. But isn't it so cool?
yeah,
What does
nice.
it do to the vibe of the game from where you felt it was before? Is this consistent, or does it feel like a departure? Give us some feedback.
I mean, I remember the game being, more black and white. There wasn't the nice kind of ambient, mystical purple lighting. I remember the models and the mobs, but I think it looks much more coherent right now than it did. And I didn't know about Adventureland, so I spent like 30 minutes leveling up and building everything and waiting for quite slow respawn timers
Oh my goodness,
in the
no.
safe town area. Then I discovered Adventureland, and that the wolves. I wasn't really ready for the wolves, so I spent half an hour staying really close to this beacon and leveling up, and then I figured I could level up by crafting. I had a few hundred pieces of lumber at that point, and so I made a lot of charcoal, and I was able to make some armor, and then my inventory was full.
Okay, so we
And,
just got notice from Chris. Here we go. If you look at your backpack, open up your backpack. In the lower left-hand corner, you can see the trash. It's really dark.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I can see it.
Yep.
Okay.
And yep. Wait, what happened? Now do you?
It says this is the trash lot track items here, and they will be destroyed soon afterwards. So what if I close the backpack? It's still here. So what if? Oh, and then I put another item in, and then it overwrites the other one. So you can just see the last item you threw away, and you can salvage that.
Oh.
See? So now it's here, and then if I put my mana potion on top, now it's gone, but I can salvage my mana potion. That's actually
nice.
kind of like nice, a single undo.
That is awesome. Yes, and Scourge says the level up notification is working too. It sure is, except it's one level off. If you notice, he just got the level 2 notification, but he just hit level 3. I think it's a base 0 problem in the text display. We'll have to find out next week if that's where we find the bug. That would be great to fix a bug while I'm at Game Beat. That would be fun. The CEO that also is in code. I'm level 2, I just got the notification that I reached level 2, and I'm level 3 according to the XP bar. I don't know which is correct.
No, I had the same thing. My first level up was level 1, so I think it's we're one behind with him.
All right, so where are we going?
I was promised.
We have to find him.
Yeah.
You promised werewolves.
I have a hammer. I need a werewolf. It's.
Well, get in there, Tanky. You manage that aggro.
Yeah.
I'm just a little paper mage. Looks like one didn't aggro at all.
Yeah. Maybe it's a bit too far away.
I don't know. Some of the mobs are acting a little bit funky. And there was a VFX bug that I noticed. I'm going to go over here and try to trigger it again. Did we have Adventureland when we're playing?
We had a very no, I mean we had a very kind of rudimentary
proto level.
It wasn't it was there, but it wasn't really.
Got you.
You know, it was there in name.
Well, this is cool.
I remember.
Oh, by the way, Thor always needs a hammer. It's true. Legitimately. Oh.
Yeah, having a healer. I was like level 8 or 10 earlier today, and I could barely solo these guys. And you can really feel the power of collaboration.
Also, I didn't even buff myself. Did you give it? You should be able. You should have a buff. I'm stumbling over my own words.
Yeah, I have 2. Crucible of Flame and Shroud of Flame.
I have aggro too. There's a puppy trying to eat me. Thor, save me with your hammer. And I'm died. I am died.
Oh no.
Thor, you didn't save me fast enough.
I'm sorry. There was some latency there.
Blame it on being in Iceland.
Definitely not. Definitely not a user error on my part. 50% of the time, it's never my fault.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Frank. We need a res spell for the healer, and then we need a res ability. That might be like high on our list. What do you guys think? Should get resurrect in there? Because let's be extra religious. All right, I have Savage Ice. I'm coming back to y'all. I'll find my way. Keep going.
All right.
So yeah, this is our procedurally generated zone. So every time it spins up, it's completely unique. Yeah, isn't that cool?
Oh, really? Yeah.
And we have 3 different zones like this one. And we can spin up a new 3 adventure zones. Plus a boss fight. Oh, I think I went the wrong way. Oh, shit. Oh, language. Irena. This is a family-friendly stream. Pristine Gamer. Trent says, I like the little spin around defeated animation there. Yo, the animator that we had on the team, Brian Labor, I worked with him at 38 Studios. He is abso-freaking-lutely brilliant. And he put like so much character into the animations. We're so lucky to have worked with him. I can't wait to get him back. But he's another victim of the, oh my God, we have to afford life part of the game dev world. Oh, I didn't find you guys, but I found the boss.
Okay. Can the druid please teleport us to you?
Wouldn't that be nice? Well, I'm the mage. I should be able to summon you all. Evac you all. Oh my God, I'm gonna die again. No, please don't. Who's to really know at this point? I'll try again. But what I can tell you is that my unfortunate adventures showed me that the boss zone is near looking building, like the inn at the end of the world. And Trent says about our adventure zone, oh, cool is that with procedural generation? It sure is. Our zones are all assembled, designed by designers, but are assembled procedurally. So every time you go into that particular biome or that storyline, the world is unique, but it still has all the pieces that you would expect. It's just stuff is in different places. So walkthroughs will not help you unless it's like you're looking for points of interest and landmarks rather than, specific, like you're getting a walk through Zelda. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
It's one of the. Right, sorry, I have aggro from
some wolves. Yes, you do. Okay.
All right, where is it?
Do like a little 360, and if you see a glowing green lightsaber, go towards it. There, follow them.
Oh, there it is.
And I'll meet you there. I may or may not have a cheat.
Shall I Leroy Jenkins this or wait
Well,
for you?
I mean, do you want to survive? I mean, really? These are very good questions. Tozub says we should add a spell called Summon Irena just to summon me and nobody else. Be it.
So wait, do we do something with the
It is
tree?
a beacon.
Ah, okay. I see. I thought he was just running around in the adventure.
And Trent, I'm straight. You always need a Leroy Jenkins, but let's buff off before we do. Buffing really matters. Like you need the buffs. They double your power. They double your.
Are we ready?
I'm always ready for a Leroy Jenkins. Let's do this. Bam.
All right.
Aroo. We need more sound effects, so I'll just do them myself. Woo! Okay. I have a rotation. I gotta focus. Let's see. I'm gonna do this for fun. Can we do both? Wait. Can we? I'm trying to like screen share both of us, but it won't work. Never mind. I'll back out of that. We got this. I believe in us.
Yeah, we're halfway there.
He is simply stunning. Yeah, Kabamat is cool. He's actually a prototype of. Trent said that he liked Kabamat's model, but he's a prototype of our the forces of shadow, like the shadow creatures and shadow gods. And he is a foot soldier, not a foot soldier, but like a commander in the shadow army. And they have corrupted reality and killed him. We have destroyed him.
Who are these shamblings? And
I'm level 4 with your killing of these shamblings, so I support this with my heat-seeking ice bolt or water bolt as it curves around us to run away. Let's destroy.
One of the things I miss from the old days, not that I'm old, is the having to explore, right? Like an EverQuest, for an example. If you were a wizard or a necromancer, and you needed a certain spell you might have to traverse a whole continent to find a vendor. And this was before Reddit and, so many, you know, things. It took, I- what was it, a year for someone to traverse the whole continent
Oh my goodness.
of
Yeah.
Everquest,
It
or was
was,
it?
it took I remember it took me 4 days to get from Hollis to Freeport. And that was one of the coolest things about EverQuest is that like you could just wander off in a dark and get lost. And the world lived and had things going
It was
on
just,
even though you didn't do anything.
yeah, there was so much discovery, and the sense of achievement,
Yes.
right? Mm.
Well, I'm now achieving level 5. Yeah, what do you want, Kraken Root? Eat my water bowl. Sorry, get a little eager. Oh, this one I can't target and can't attack. This one's bugged out. Thor.
Yeah, it's that I think I had this problem with before where I would defeat monsters and um, I could loot them, but then they would continue in the kind of the idling animation
Yeah,
and not
we've got
despawn.
some creature bugs for sure. Hey, but come up here and I'll show you. We didn't quite finish it, but the GDC demo that we put together was working towards the storyline that you built for the Fatui. So here's the forester.
Yeah.
This is the character that you were supposed to come and save. So he's
Yeah.
kind of broken right now. His like rig is kind of janky. But we have yet to be able to fix him because we don't have any character artists on hand. But like I thought you'd like to see. The forester still lives, our first NPC. And he's the guy that you're supposed to save now that we have all of our starting characters. And bring him back and you make him your
Yeah.
blacksmith.
So I can sell him my stuff for no gold, and if I had 100 gold, I could buy this monster scroll to summon a forest giant. And now I feel cheated.
Yeah. Well, we took money out of the game. We were like, what if we just had a full barter economy? Sound off in the comments how you feel about games with no cash.
Thor see giant hammer go smash. That's
I mean, if you jump off a cliff over here because of your emotions, I can summon a forest giant. I can.
You can?
I might have a cheat, I think. Let me see. I can get a couple of scrolls to do trouble. And I have a couple of scrolls that I can work with. But here we go. Here's a new fight coming in, friends. Bam! I have aggro. The hitbox on him. Try clicking on his legs.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, weird that target circle looks different on my screen than it is on you. Oh, nice. Frank can heal from up there. Oh, that is great strategy. Let's make Calvamont harder. If we can get a healer up on the cliff healing, that is legit cool. I'm always looking for ways to make our boss fights harder. All right, you want another one? Ow! You're hurting me.
Yeah, I wanna equip my gleaming longsword, which hey, it looks like a sword. It doesn't look like a hammer. It does actually change out the model.
See, we got some upgrades. And we have unique animations for the sword and shield. See, but you don't think about that when you're, coming up with new weapons. That an axe has to be animated differently from a sword, from a wand, from a staff. But yeah, every item creates multiple lines work. And we got to kill that thing. Yes! I'm level 6, actually level 7. But thanks for power leveling me.
Yeah, me too. I'm level 8 now.
Can you loot it is the question? Who's to know? Oh, you did get it.
My God. Executioner's Axe. 8 damage. Wow. Big numbers go up. Yay.
The water.
Where is it?
Big numbers go up. Now you want to beat up on me
Nice.
some more because I have an executioner's axe? Are you going to ask me a question?
Maybe.
And I'll tell you no lie.
Yes. Can has more monsters.
Oh, you want more monsters?
I mean, if I'm supposed to smash more, then
you need something to smash on. That's fair. I can't argue with you.
There's no PvP, right?
No, there is not, Thor. You cannot beat up on me. But I can ride a horsey.
Yeah? Hey!
Okay, there we go. Then I got you a monster to push on.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Whee! I got my T-pose horsey. Be afraid of me. Oh, I don't think I can cast spells from on the horse, though. Oh, and getting stunned knocked me off and killed the horse. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do that again. All right, I'm gonna show you. We're gonna be on this dead horse. There we go. We got this. Our second round of Cobblemot. These are our debug items that allow us to... Oh, see? My horse died. Oh, poor horsey.
He's just sleeping.
Oh, he's just taking a dirt nap. That's right. We like collaborative games where we can beat up on stuff. Together.
But I was really enjoying the slower pace of, gathering resources and building. And I think as a driver, I mean, obviously you need to unlock more and more stuff that you need to find, survival game style. But the idea of being able to build this kind of haven together, and I was having fun with it before.
Are you still having fun with it though?
I mean, I'm bashing on monsters right now.
Yeah,
so,
I just fell through the world. Don't follow me. You just did exactly what I did. Well, what a way to end the stream. That's perfect. You're going to fall forever. If you want to actually save yourself, you can hit.
Wait, listen to this.
I can't hear it. Woo. But if you hit 8, you can teleport home and save yourself. So
8. Yeah.
Okay.
This was great.
So yeah, we'll go back into like this interview format. Thank you so much for playing. Now I got to know, what did you think, my friend? Yeah.
Me. I had fun. It was good fun. I mean, I think the state of the prototype is that it's a prototype. It's not claiming to be an alpha or a beta. I mean, it's a very, very early prototype. But I mean, for me, even at this stage, I think it gives a certain clarity on where it's coming from, and I mean, it's coming from a history that I'm a big fan of, right? The kind of just old school social gaming, adventure, discovery, leveling up, finding gear, crafting gear, having fun together, right? Looking for a healer. That's always a great
The
time.
infinite
The really good team building exercise for everyone besides the healer. Quality time. No, but it gives me the reminiscence of things that I really enjoy and love, right? And I if it gets more content, I'll play more.
Absolutely. Now
Right?
we
It's
need more content, and that's kind of where we're driving to, and continually on the journey of fundraising. But we have a few conversations that we're pursuing. Hopefully, that'll turn into some money. There's, we heard rumor that Sony is looking for games, but they want the games to be PlayStation exclusive. So what would that do to the game? I mean, but I've also heard that if you do that, then you get essentially like a Sony supported soft launch cycle before you go full like worldwide. So maybe it's early access on the PlayStation. So like, I don't know, there's lots of potentials, I think. And I think that the market is very quickly realizing that we actually need games to come out.
Yeah,
Because we want players, and players want to play games. They don't want to play tools.
that's true. That's true. And yeah, it's interesting with PlayStation. That's interesting.
Yeah, let's talk about it more.
We could talk about that. That could be another conversation.
For sure. Any final thoughts before we head off and into the night for you and into the evening for me?
No, I mean, it was yeah. No, it was just fun.
Did we find the
And,
fun, Thor?
I mean, for me, definitely. I'm a simple person, right? I like to intuitively understand what I'm doing, so that I don't feel that I'm, have to learn, that makes me feel intelligent. No, and capable, an intelligent and
Yes,
capable
these are
adult.
things that are important to validate in a firm.
That's why I play computer games, to feel like an intelligent, and capable adult, and responsible.
Very responsible.
No, jokes aside, I just feel like the slight bit of narrative, the fixing the quest with the lumberjack, and adding in a second tier of buildings, or a sneaky kind of mezzanine tier, and then a second tier, and then there's stuff from this area and stuff from that area, where it starts to become like, oh, I have to go all over, and I'm on this epic adventure to find stuff, and that's enough to keep me happy. And the funny thing is, I find my kids, they play Roblox a lot, and they play a lot of the collaborative games on Roblox, and so many of those are reminiscent also of these old games, but they've been simplified down to just the core elements of go to area, find thing, bring thing to this area, level up, and like even the power like the exaggeration of the power tiering of enemies is just everything is so transparent, but they're running around together and
Doesn't
they're
have to be
like,
complicated to be fun.
you know, yeah, yeah. And I think I see that, I feel that potential with Haven, that it's, you know, it has the, the potential to engage and bring people together.
Oh, thanks for
And
the nod.
that's cool.
It's funny because I've had my daughter play this game with her friends, and they like would lose. They lost 6 hours messing around. And Tozeb, another playtest, had his friends playing. They joined in from Sweden, and they kept playing after the stream was over. And then he sent me screenshots of what they did. It was absolutely hilarious. I'm gonna like try to find it quick. But like they kept going and kept going and kept going until like, I'm gonna share my screen. They check this out. Where'd it go? I shared my screen. Place my screen sharing. Nope. Stop screen sharing. Now screen share again. Oh, this dramatic pause is very exciting. Yeah, look what they built.
Wow.
There's a few bugs.
Yeah.
You see like the leveling of the houses, but like this is the vibe we're going for. It was a mess, as Tozeb said. But a fun mess. Yeah, because there's another image that kind of describes what it ended up being afterwards. Where is it? Where is it? Oh gosh. Then they destroyed it. But that's the fun, right? I mean, it's still, this is clearly prototype, and we would have a little bit more like cleaning up logic. But I spent this morning actually watching the player housing breakdown for WoW for the new expansion, and like they are doing everything that I was dreaming that we would do for Haven. And the fact that people are so excited about it, like, reaffirms for me that, like, yes, people actually like this part of the gameplay, the building a village together, decorating it, making like a cool environment. Like, that's a game in and of itself. People would love that. And then adding adventure on top of it, that's just a cherry on top. So someday we'll have beautiful villages like this.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this is that this is not procedurally generated by an AI. This is actually made by players. And
see, but there's so much potential. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll stop sharing my my Discord. It's art, says Tozeb. Damn straight it is. It is art, as a matter of fact. And I cannot wait to get more players in to make more art in Haven and help us build it. And thank you so much, A, for your help in helping us build Haven, and then coming and checking it out like a year later and seeing what we did with it. And your feedback, as always, is wonderfully valuable. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to build more with you.
it was my pleasure. Thanks for having me. And yeah, let's do more fun stuff.
We like games and we want to make them. So support your local game developer. Join their Patreon. Shameless plug one more time. I mean, can I copy it? Or sign up for our Friends and Family Alpha at haven.unleashedgames.com. Have a great weekend, all, and we'll catch you next week with another awesome guest. I mean, nobody could top Thorgeir Odinsson, son of Thor. Son of Odin, sorry. Oh, my goodness. Let me do that again. No one can top Thorgeir Odinsson, son of Odin. There we go. Have a great weekend, all. Bye.
Hit that button and buy a t-shirt with a dragon on it, and that will help us keep making some awesome games. Looks like this. I've already seen a Unleashed t-shirt out in the wild that I wasn't wearing, and I'm super excited about seeing more of them. So, yeah, buy a t-shirt.